So the interlull is over and we finally get club football back and a chance to see Arsenal in one of the big games every season, our visit to Stamford Bridge. People my age will remember so many great occasions, Carnew's hat-trick in the rain, fullback scoring for fun. It's always been a must-win game for us, really, because losing to Chelsea is just awful. And of course, there was that spell where we just couldn't seem to get a result against them at all. Things have changed. Recent history is very much in our favour. Last season's 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge with Gabriel's header was one of the highlights of the season. It really showed us how far we'd come and what we could expect. And I'm hoping for the same this season. We're going into this full of confidence, of course, on the back of that fantastic win against Manchester City, finally beating them. Unbeaten in the first 8 games of the season, whilst Chelsea, of course, the last 2 home games have lost to Villa and Forest. They are on the back of 2 successive away wins. I only saw the first half they played against Fulham, but Mudryk looked good. They looked like they're starting to come together. And look, I don't think Pochettino's going to win the league with Chelsea, but I do think he's a very good manager. And we heard from Arteta this week just how highly he rates Pochettino. So who am I to question that? So why do I think this could be a potential banana skin for us today? And look, let me be clear from the start. I wouldn't take a draw if you offered it to me right now. I'm not that worried. I think whilst Raheem Sterling has something to prove, having been left out of the international team, so does Ben White. And I'm really confident in that matchup, and I don't necessarily worry so much about that. I do think that their pairing of Enzo and Caicedo in the middle could go on to be world-class, but they haven't formed that partnership. I'm really hoping we see Thomas Partey in this match alongside Declan Rice with Odegaard, and a front 3 of Saliba, Martinelli and Jesus. Even given the fact that there's been international travel that might have wearied some legs, that's true of both teams. I am more concerned that the news that Saliba has a toe injury. It seems like a trifling thing, but if it keeps him out, then that disturbs a back 4 that's been really solid away from home particularly. I think for me, this will be a test to see if we go into this match with complacency. We have done that a number of times this season, mostly at home, in fact, entirely at home. Away, we don't seem to play with the same sort of high emotional level, which I was so pleased to see absent from the Man City home game. And if we can continue to build on that, then I do see a comfortable 1 or possibly 2-0 victory, possibly more. But Chelsea are playing with nothing to lose and much to prove in front of home fans who have every reason to be disappointed at the moment. Their last 2 home games against Forest and Villa were hugely disappointing. If Pochettino's had time over the international break to work with the players that didn't go away and puts out a team as strong as it looks like he might be able to, I know that they're dealing with a huge number of injuries, which is ridiculous when you think how many players they have in their squad. But it is an important match. It will tell us a great deal about how ready we are to mount a serious title challenge. If Man City take 3 points against Brighton, if Tottenham go on and win, both results you would expect, then our position at the top of the table could be in question. A win here, though, and I think that you're starting to see a really solid base to build on. And whilst it hasn't quite clicked yet up front, if we do have Martinelli, Saka and Jesus for the first time this season, then it'd be really interesting to see what happens. I'm going to tentatively predict that we come out of this with a 1 or 2-0 victory. So I'm going to say 1-0 to the Arsenal. A result I would absolutely cherish. For all of you that want to see the swashbuckling Arsenal performance where we rack up a goal tally, I think it's more important to remember that champions don't necessarily do that, but they do get 3 points. I'm worried about what would happen to the confidence of the fan base and the team again if this is a surprise defeat. Not that I would lose faith, but I do see it as a potential banana skin just because this is Chelsea. They are, for all the fact that they've become a bit of a banter club since Abramovich left, I think there is a slight growth in confidence in their fan base that's based on what they can see starting to merge in front of them. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm being overly cautious. I accept that a lot of this is down to the fact that I am just a bit nervous. There's so much at stake this season. I really do believe it will be a Premier League title for us for the first time in 20 years. And, well, I remember from our previous title challenges that these are nervy, intense affairs and it never quite goes the way you want it to. every single time. In fact, I'm also reminded of the 91 title season where we lost only one game in the entire season, and that was to a Chelsea side that beat us when no one else could do. There's just something about Chelsea-Arsenal games. They always make for exciting watching, and it doesn't always go to form. This time, hopefully Arteta, who has got the team not too fired up, but ready to really impose themselves. Apart from anything else at the moment, the way that Arteta's picking his team is really unpredictable. We really don't know who is going to be in the starting 11 just at the moment. I'm going to do a live cast about an hour before the game when we have the team news in to discuss it and perhaps change my prediction. But at the moment, I do feel that this is a game that's going to be really important for our season. And come on, you Gunners. Till I see you just before kickoff, be lucky. Lots of love.